I might look a little bit crazy right now, but I'm about to finish my makeup because we are going to be reviewing and doing a wear test of the new MAC foundation, and that is this foundation right here. This is the MAC Studio Radiance Serum-Powered Foundation. Now on the back it says that it is 209% more hydrating skin, 24-hour hydration, 80% skin base with hyaluronic acid, medium buildable coverage, radiant glow finish, 12-hour wear, transfer resistance, non-creasing and non-caking. So it has a lot of claims. And I haven't used a MAC foundation on myself since around about 2014. Like for me, MAC peaked between, I'd say, the years of like 2007, maybe just a little bit before that, and then up to about 2013. And then all these brands started to come in. You had your Morphe, you had your Makeup Geek, you had, you know, P. Louise started. All these brands came in and it was a surge of excitement that I just don't think MAC could keep up with. But I feel like recently MAC have slowly creeped back into the current realm of makeup. Even when I went in to buy this, the girl agrees with me. She was like, we had a major slump. And I was like, I fully agree. She was like, a massive slump. Like, just no one was bothered about MAC. There was nothing new, there was nothing exciting. Now do not get me wrong, in my makeup kit I have a lot of MAC. I have MAC liners, MAC lip liners is still one of the best on the market, MAC gloss, Fix Plus, all that sort of stuff I just buy, but it's nothing new and it's nothing that I'm going to sit and review day in, day out. But they finally have released something new. So we are going to be putting this to the test today. I am going to see Trivium tonight. So it is a very, very sweaty gig. It's 17 degrees. It keeps raining. It's just not good weather in the UK at all. But this is going to be getting put to the test. So let's fix this face. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and let's just get into it. This is the foundation. So it's a little bit different to Studio Fix. It is a cloudy glass bottle and the writing is gold, whereas Studio Fix, it is black, if I remember rightly, and is clear glass. So that's the difference in packaging. Now, what I will say you can get to go with this product is these two products. There is a Skin Canvas Balm and a Serumizer. Now, the Serumizer is for all skin types, and then your Skin Canvas Balm is for all your dry skin types, your really, really dry skin. So we're going to use these two first. So let's pop some of the Serumizer. Okay. The girl was nice enough to give me these as a tester. So I thought I'm going to use these without any moisturiser. So that's gone on there. That is so nice. That feels lovely, actually. Really, really nice. So definitely gave that skin a gorgeous glow. I'm now going to pop on the Skin Canvas Balm. Okay, this is really thick, and I'm going to pop that all underneath. I don't know why I'm looking in the camera when I could just look in my mirror. I'm going to pop that all underneath my eyes. Now, this eye has not stopped watering. And I mean, why have I got eyeliner on my nose? It has not stopped watering, so it is killing me ear. But it's held up a little bit, so I'm trying not to knock too close to the eye because I don't want to trigger it again. That balm feels lovely. There doesn't seem to be much of a smell. Hang on, let me smell. A tiny bit of scent to it. And I'm just going to pop a tiny bit here because this is where I get my driest area, is in between my eyebrows. I'm going to pop a little bit around my mouth area because that can be dry as well. See around the nose. And then because I need to cover this up, I'm going to try putting it on here and see if it stings. No, that feels fine. And we're now going to get into the foundation. So this is a new shade they do. This is N11. I am going to pop this on my chest, see what the colour is looking like. Okay, that feels really nice as well. Ooh! That is so glowy. It's a little tiny bit, and I mean a tiny bit lighter than what I need, and I mean a fraction lighter, but we're going to roll with it. So I am going to apply this with my Morphe. It's the M523 brush. This is my favourite brush, so I'm going to take some and I'm just going to pop it around this area just to see how it first applies. Just take one full pump and then say is it's gone on really light. It's obviously a lot lighter than Studio Fix. It is not the consistency, and it doesn't have that Studio Fix smell. So for me, my friends always wore Studio Fix before I ever did, but my college years, if I had to put a smell to my college years, it would 100% have to be MAC Studio Fix, because in the first year of college, I wore a bit of makeup, and then towards the end of it, I realised it was pointless because, well, actually towards like the Christmas time, because I'd done performing arts, so I was just sweating, so I just didn't see the point. And back then, like I was doing the bare minimum with my makeup. I was more or less throwing it on of a morning, so I stopped wearing it. But all my friends would wear it still to college, and the smell of Studio Fix just reminds me of sitting in the canteen and everyone fixing the makeup, because we all had Studio Fix by the time we were all in college. It was just one of them foundations that you always wanted. So that is one layer. That colour is actually, I'm going to say, pretty damn close to perfect against my neck. Obviously my chest is always a little bit darker, but to my neck, yeah, and it doesn't look like it's massively different. It has covered my red quite well, to be quite honest with you, considering I am pretty red today. Now that was one whole pump on that side of the face. I'm going to go in and do this side of the face. Funny story about me and MAC. I literally used to want to be a MAC girl, like so much. It wasn't even funny. So I used to work in the Costa Coffee in the Met Quarter, which, if anyone knows what I mean, in town, it was literally opposite the MAC shop. And I used to look at all the girls and I used to just be like, I want to work there. I applied and I applied and I applied, and no one ever offered me a job or got back to me or anything like that. So I'll be honest and say I always wanted to be a MAC girl. For years they were like, that was what I wanted, and I never got it. But I just always remember when I was like 16, and I just wanted the job. And my first weekend of working in Costa was Halloween weekend, and all the girls were getting ready. One woman was dressed as Frankenstein's wife, and it just looked like such a fun place to work. It was, you're talking, this was 2007, like it was the place to be. Like if you liked makeup, MAC was the shop. And so for me, that was when MAC was at its peak, and then it slowly dwindled. Or not that it dwindled, I'd say MAC was here and it stayed there, and then all these other brands came up. But I slowly feel like those other brands are now doing what MAC have done, and they're all kind of getting back to like an even playing field, which some people might think I'm a bit crazy about, but I'm over all this packaging, and I'm over all this like, oh, new makeup this, and it's pretty much the same thing as you brought out a couple of weeks ago. Like it just doesn't interest me anymore. This is what the foundation looks like. It is so glowy. It feels so light on the skin. You can still see I've got freckles, but it's evened out my skin pretty well. My redness today is on form. I don't know why, but it is. So I am going to put another layer on, but I think I'm going to try it with a beauty blender just to see how it applies, or I'll try a little bit on this side, and if I don't like it, I might come back to this brush. Rest of my face, and it is more solely just a focus on these areas right on my cheek. Already that has covered it well and truly enough. I would say this is a little bit lighter than medium, but not a serum foundation, if that makes sense. So for me, it's not quite medium coverage. I would say it's between light and medium, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's picking up as well as it is in real life, but that glow is gorgeous. Like, it's absolutely stunning. It's nothing like Studio Fix. Like, it's nothing like it. Now, MAC for me oxidizes terrible, which is a part of this review that I'm going to be looking at. And I'm just popping a little bit more because now I want to see if I can build up these little areas here as well. Yeah, so they tend to oxidize really bad on me, and that's what stopped me using MAC on myself, and I'll only have certain shades in my makeup kit because I do find that it oxidizes quite a lot. So dependent on your skin though, because my friend's doesn't. She's swore by Studio Fix since we were 14. She's never strayed from Studio Fix. She still wears it to this day. But Studio Fix just didn't work for me in the end. Now that that's on, I'm quite happy with that base. I think that looks gorgeous. Okay, let's finish it. I'm going to go in with Vive's concealer now. And then I am just going to pop some on my neck. Stunning. This is absolutely, I can see this being a massive hit for MAC. Already, I hope this wears well. I'm really hoping this wears really, really well because up to now, it's definitely. Now I'm going to see how all my other products apply to it. And what I will say is this balm, I haven't got an ounce of creasing underneath and I haven't set those eyes yet. So everything's still applied really, really nicely. It looks really pretty. So I'm going to take some blush. Cheeks are really red. So if you are like me and you suffer with redness in your cheeks, rather than using a pink or a red, use an orange. I promise you, it will balance out that cheek and you can sit it that little bit higher and it will just look 10 times better. Like, you will even everything out completely and it will just, see how that like flushes into it, but we haven't used red or pink, even though my cheeks are red. Red raw, actually, they were a little bit today. But as you can see, that is blended into that foundation effortlessly. Now we need to see how powders go onto it. I am going to take my trusty Givenchy powder, start with my chin, and before I go near me under eye, I'm just going to finally, not that it needs, I can't get over how good that under eye looks for how dry my skin is. Like, that balm has truly, truly worked. Okay. Up to now, it looks airbrushed. Right, I know like the powder helps make that look airbrushed, but I actually also think that balm has played a massive, massive part of that. Oh my God. My under eyes look actually great. Okay, so I'm now gonna do a little bit up here. I don't like to do too much. I do still want that glow to come through. So that's the powdered side and that's the non-powdered side. To be honest, if I wasn't going to a concert, I wouldn't be powdering my whole face. I would have just powdered underneath my eyes and a little bit here and kept the natural glow everywhere else. But because I am going in somewhere that is going to be hot, obviously this foundation needs to still look good in that heat and my natural oils and everything are going to come through. This foundation looks stunning. Stunning with nothing set, and it looks completely airbrushed on the side. This colour match is actually perfect. It looked slightly out on my chest. I'm praying to the gods this does not oxidise. I'm now just going to take a little bit of the MAC Fix Plus, or I say a little bit. This is the finished face. So I will come back to you later. I will do it under this ring light. I will keep everything out so that I can sit down in front of you and show you it. I normally do it at different like lighting, but I'm going to try and keep it the same for you. Up to now, I am really, really liking this foundation and I hope it wears well. So I will see you in a few hours. No, I don't have the foundation on right now and I'm going to tell you why. But just to clear up before you turn this video off, I am still going to give you a full review, but we are going to reapply it and I'm going to do another full day's review and wear test for you. We're going to explain why I don't have footage from when I wore it to the gig. So basically, went outside, it was absolutely gorgeous, no clouds in the sky, no nothing. Now anyone who's living in the UK at the moment knows we cannot trust that. We cannot trust the weather, and I checked to make sure that when I left the gig there was not going to be any rain or anything like that, and they said no on the weather, and British weather forecasters can't seem to get it right. Into the gig, not a problem. Cracking the flags, foundation looked lovely. Got into the gig, foundation looked gorgeous. End of the gig, my foundation still looked pretty good. There's video footage of me on a TikTok and I can see my foundation is obviously glowing because it was very, very warm in there, but it looked gorgeous. My face still looked flawless on all the photos getting taken of me. However, when I walked out of the gig, it was absolutely lashing down, and I mean lashing down, to the point where I could get my arm and wipe the water off it. That's how wet I got, especially with what I wore. I had no umbrella and it was just coming down and I was drowned. I literally looked like I got out the bath. Now, I'm all for doing a review and a wear test, but I'm also for a very fair review and wear test, because I looked like I'd just got in the bath. Like, I wasn't willing to sit in this seat while I'm dithering, freezing cold, wringing wet hair, wringing wet clothes, all to tell you what I thought of the foundation. Now, what I'm going to do instead is we're going to reapply the foundation today, but I'm going to do a much more natural look so you can see it with less powder, with just a little bit less finish on the makeup, so it is more about the foundation. I'm not going to go through the whole how it applies and everything. I'm just going to show you really quick me applying it to my face, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts, and we're going to talk a little bit about what I thought about the foundation on Tuesday and also today. So that is why I'm sitting here barefaced. I'm exhausted. This week has absolutely kicked my backside. These dark circles are just not it. I feel like all my skin texture's showing. So we're going to just get into reapplying the foundation. So let's just speed this up. And that is the makeup on. So this is a much more natural makeup today. Tiny bit of powder, some blush and bronze to give the face some structure, and that is pretty much it, because I am only going to the pub tonight. It's not like I'm going anywhere major. And then like a really nice lip. But this foundation looks gorgeous naturally, as you can see. It's just hitting that light perfectly. I will show you what this looks like throughout the day, but this looks stunning. Now, I've got to get to work, so I will have this on roughly for like 10-12 hours, so I need to get to work as early this morning. That is why the lighting has been all off during this video. I have my massive ring light, but there's a lot of shadow coming from this way and that way, so I've tried moving it around, but this is the best lighting you can get at the moment because it is 9 o'clock in the morning, so it's just a little bit dull. But yeah, this is what it looks like. So I will come back in installments, but I know this video has been a little bit chaotic, but I really wanted to give this foundation a fair chance because MAC haven't released a new foundation in a long time. So I wanted to give it a fair go, and sitting in buckets of rain and then reviewing it just didn't seem fair. So we're going to do a full wear test on this and I will let you know. This is the first check-in of the night at 8 o'clock, so it's almost had the foundation on for 12 hours, and I think this foundation looks absolutely stunning. This whole base routine, to be honest, looks gorgeous. Yes, I am a little bit extra dewy. It was 24 degrees. I was in a pub that had no aircon. We were dancing and we were hot and sweaty, so even with all that, I still think this looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks exactly the same as it did on Tuesday at the gig before I got absolutely drowned, and I think this looks stunning. What I will also say is it hasn't oxidized, which, as I mentioned, is something I do suffer with when it comes to MAC. Now, this second clip right here was at 11:30 at night, and it's still absolutely gorgeous. Like, I think this foundation may just be one of my new favorites, personal and for my makeup kit.